Jerry Collins, born on November 4, 1980, in Tokoroa, New Zealand, was one of the most formidable flankers to don the black jersey, earning 48 caps for the All Blacks between 2001 and 2007 and captaining his country on several occasions. Standing at 1.93 m and weighing 109 kilograms, he combined raw power with an uncanny breakdown sense and prodigious work rate that made him a fan favorite and a nightmare for opponents. He debuted against Argentina in Mendoza in 2001, quickly establishing himself through devastating tackles and tireless support play. His performances on the 2003 and 2007 Rugby World Cups cemented his reputation as a fearsome competitor on rugby's grandest stage. After leaving New Zealand Rugby Union in 2007, he plied his trade in Europe, turning out for clubs including Toulon and Saracens, where his leadership and experience were invaluable in domestic and Heineken Cup campaigns. Tragically, on June 5, 2015, while driving in Béziers, southern France, Collins and his partner, Alana Medill, a former professional netball player, were killed in a head-on collision when their car was struck by another vehicle. The shock of his sudden passing reverberated across the rugby world, prompting heartfelt tributes from teammates, rivals, and fans alike. The International Rugby Board's Spirit of Rugby award was posthumously renamed in his honor, ensuring that Collins's legacy of courage, commitment, and camaraderie endures in the sport he loved. Jonah Tali Lomu, born May 12, 1975, in Auckland, New Zealand, was an electrifying rugby union winger whose combination of size, speed, and power revolutionized the sport and enthralled fans worldwide. Making his All Blacks debut as a teenager in 1994, he went on to earn 63 test caps over a career that saw him score 37 international tries, still a record for New Zealand. Lamu first captured global attention at the 1995 Rugby World Cup in South Africa, where his unforgettable 11-try haul, including the iconic semi-final performance against England, in which he bulldozed his way past multiple defenders to score two of the most celebrated tries of the modern era, announced the arrival of a new breed of athlete in rugby. Standing 1.96 m tall and weighing 119 kilograms, he combined brute strength with blistering pace, clocking sub-1 second 100 m sprints, and forever altered expectations for what a winger could be. Despite being diagnosed in 1996 with a serious kidney disorder, later attributed to a rare form of nephrotic syndrome, that periodically sidelined him and culminated in a transplant in 2004, Lamu's resilience ensured he remained a potent force on the field. Beyond his statistical achievements, he was a global ambassador for rugby, drawing unprecedented media attention to the sport and inspiring a generation of players, particularly in the Pacific Islands community from which he hailed. His untimely death on November 18, 2015, at the age of 40, following a long battle with kidney disease, prompted an outpouring of grief around the world, and his legacy endures in the high-impact style of play that has become a hallmark of modern rugby. Danny Jones, born March 6, 1986 in Halifax, West Yorkshire, was a professional rugby league halfback who enjoyed a 12-year career spanning 2 spells at his hometown club Halifax and 2 spells with the Keighley Cougars, amassing over 200 club appearances and more than 1,300 points through his accurate goal-kicking and dynamic playmaking. A Wales international, Jones earned 12 caps between 2010 and 2013, representing his adopted nation at the 2013 Rugby League World Cup and contributing 3 goals in international competition. On May 3, 2015, during a Kingstone Press League 1 fixture against London Skolars at Cougar Park, the 29-year-old halfback reported feeling unwell just minutes into the match and was substituted before collapsing on the sideline from a suspected cardiac arrest, despite immediate on-field medical attention and air ambulance transfer to the Royal Free Hospital. In Hampstead, he was pronounced dead that evening. A post-mortem examination revealed an undetected hereditary heart condition as the underlying cause, prompting widespread calls from teammates, charities, and rugby league authorities for mandatory cardiac screening at all levels of the sport to help prevent similar tragedies. In tribute to his legacy, Keighley Cougars retired his iconic number 6 shirt immediately after his death. The main stand at Cougar Park was later named the Danny Jones Stand, and his widow Lizzie established the Danny Jones Defibrillator Fund to raise awareness of cardiac health and equip amateur clubs with life-saving defibrillators, a campaign that had distributed over £200,000 in grants by 2019 and earned her an MBE in the 2020 New Year Honours for services to rugby league and charity. James William Acriman, a 25-year-old prop forward for the Sunshine Coast Falcons, took the field at Bishop Park in Nunda, Brisbane, for a Queensland Cup fixture against the North's Devils. Just 5 minutes into the contest, opposing forward Francis Molo delivered a shoulder charge that rendered Acriman unconscious and inflicted severe neck trauma akin to high-impact vehicular collisions. Medical testimony during the subsequent coronial inquest described his injuries as very rare, noting a ruptured artery and extensive hemorrhaging, which ultimately proved fatal. Despite emergency treatment and transfer to the Royal Brisbane and Women's Hospital, Acriman succumbed to his injuries 2 days later on June 22, 2015, prompting an outpouring of grief across the Queensland Rugby League community. He left behind his wife, Sarah Spains, and their 2 young children, Millie and Ollie, who were aged 2 and 3 at the time. His parents, Michael and Sonia, and brothers Andrew and Thomas also mourned his unexpected passing. The Queensland Rugby League judiciary later suspended Molo for 8 weeks, reflecting the sport's rigorous safety protocols. Acriman's death spurred significant reforms in tackling regulations and galvanized initiatives to enhance player welfare, including the introduction of the James Acriman Medal, awarded annually to the Falcons Player of the Year, in his honor. His legacy endures through organ donation campaigns. Acriman's donation of multiple organs saved 70 lives, and the ongoing advocacy of his family, who continue to champion rugby league safety and community solidarity a decade on. Norman Runge Stormin Norman Barryman was born on April 15, 1973 in Wellington, New Zealand, and moved as a child to Whangarei, where he first honed his rugby talent at Whangarei Intermediate School and Whangarei Boys High School before attending Church College of New Zealand. At just 18, he burst onto the first-class scene for Northland in the National Provincial Championship in 1991, quickly earning a reputation for powerful running and electrifying off-the-cuff flair that saw him score 5 tries in his debut NPC season and eventually rack up 107 games and 71 tries for his home province. In Super Rugby, he represented the Chiefs in 1996, the Blues in 1997, and then became a cornerstone of the Crusaders' dominant side from 1998 to 2000, winning 3 consecutive Super 12 titles and delighting crowds with his indomitable spirit and trademark smile. Internationally, Barryman wore the Maori All Blacks jersey between 1995 and 2000, and again in 2003, and earned his lone full All-Black cap off the bench in a 24-23 loss to South Africa in 1998, a testament to his speed and physicality. After leaving New Zealand in 2000 to play in France for Castres Olympique and CS Bourgoin-Jallieu, he returned home briefly in 2003 before relocating to Australia in 2004, where he balanced work as a forklift driver with club rugby and coaching stints in Sydney and Perth. On June 22, 2015, while living in Perth and still actively involved in local rugby, the 42-year-old Barryman suffered a fatal heart attack, leaving behind 6 children and a legacy as one of New Zealand's most dynamic and beloved rugby talents. Paul Morgan was a Welsh professional rugby union and rugby league footballer, coach, and cricketer. Born October 3, 1974 in Pencoed, Bridgend, he began his union career with Pencoed RFC before starring for London Welsh while at Brunel University, Whitland RFC, and notably making 91 appearances and scoring 30 tries for Aberavon RFC between 2000 and 2004. In 2005, he switched codes, joining Bridgend Blue Bulls, where he helped secure the Harry Jepson Trophy, and subsequently played 30 times on the wing for Celtic Crusaders, crossing for 16 tries. That year, he earned 2 caps for Wales Rugby League, debuting against Ireland in Dublin and featuring in the 2005 European Cup final against France in Carcassonne. After concluding his playing days at his hometown club Pencoed, alternating union in winter and league in summer, he transitioned into coaching with Neath Athletic and Aberavon Quins from 2009 to 2013. A passionate cricketer, Morgan captained Pencoed Cricket Club, reflecting his lifelong devotion to sport. Described by Chris O'Callaghan as the ultimate optimist who could talk a glass eye to sleep, Morgan's untimely death at 40 followed a brief illness, leaving behind his wife, Heidi, sons Tyler and Harry, and daughter Madison. Stephen Raymond Hansen was born on August 7, 1961 in Bowral, New South Wales, and carved out a reputation as a hard-working front-row forward in the New South Wales Rugby League, NSWRL, competition before his untimely death on November 4, 2015, at the age of 54. After impressing as a junior in Bowral and Batemans Bay, Hansen was signed by the North Sydney Bears in 1985, making his first-grade debut that March and going on to play 88 games and score 4 tries for the Bears through the 1990 season. Following a stint in the Metropolitan Cup with Newtown in 1991, he returned to top-flight football with the Eastern Suburbs Roosters from 1992 to 1993, adding 22 appearances and 2 tries to his career tally. Hansen's consistent performances earned him a surprise call-up to the New South Wales State of Origin side as a last-minute replacement for Phil Daly in Game 3 of the 1988 series. He marked his only Origin appearance with a try at the Sydney Football Stadium. Known for his relentless work rate, affable personality, and strong scrummaging ability, he became a popular figure both on and off the field, admired by teammates and opponents alike. While holidaying in Thailand in mid-October 2015, Hansen suffered a heart attack and was evacuated back to Sydney's Concord Hospital, where he succumbed to complications 2 weeks later, surrounded by family. His passing was met with heartfelt tributes from the NSWRL, his clubs, and the broader rugby league community, all remembering him as a happy-go-lucky bloke, a fine footballer, and a devoted family man survived by his wife Rose and their 2 children. John Lesley Gainesford was one of South Africa's most formidable rugby union centers, earning Springbok number 348 with a blend of raw power, speed, and tactical acumen. Born August 4, 1938 in Germiston and educated at Lansdowne High School, he made his provincial debut for Western Province at just 19, going on to captain them to a Currie Cup triumph in 1966. His Test debut came against Scotland in Port Elizabeth in April 1960, launching an international career that amassed 33 Test caps and 24 points for the Springboks between 1960 and 1967, plus 71 appearances in all colors, a record for a Springbok center that stood until 2001. Standing 1.85 m tall and weighing 100 kilograms, Gainesford combined a bruising physical presence with exceptional elusiveness, regularly breaking defensive lines and accelerating past opponents with blistering pace. He scored 2 pivotal tries during the 1962 British Lions series en route to South Africa's 3-0 victory and closed out his Test career against France in Johannesburg in July 1967. Beyond the field, Gainesford was instrumental in rugby administration and coaching. He served on the Western Province Rugby Union Executive, coached under 20 sides and guided Villager Football Club's youth, while also co-founding the Logan's sports retail chain and later excelling as an international wine export director. Admired for his competitive drive and superstar status, he remained a beloved mentor and philanthropist in Parle until his passing at age 77 after a long battle with cancer on November 18, 2015. He is survived by his wife Shona, for children and 11 grandchildren, leaving a legacy as both a rugby icon and a gentle giant off the pitch.